Hello, I'm Dr. Crawford. Today we're going to focus on the link between diet and behavior. You know, many years ago, maybe 35 years ago, there was a brain researcher by the name of Dr. Derek Lonsdale, who made the statement. He said, in the years to come, we're going to see more violent crime amongst our young people because of the junk food diets and the effect that it has on the human brain. And he's in a position now to say, I told you so, because that's exactly what has happened. So we're going to focus on that link, the effect of diet on the brain, and once the brain is affected, behavior then is also in effect. When the body is suffering, the brain suffers first. It's the first place. It's very sensitive. The brain, depending on where it's suffering, that will dictate the behavioral abnormalities. And the brain basically functions off of two main ingredients. One is oxygen, and the other is sugar, is glucose. And both need to be in a steady supply. And when they aren't, the brain can become affected. Now here's the point. Diet can affect both oxygen and glucose supply to the brain. Today, our young people have major problems with diet. They're living on a high sugar, high carbohydrate, junk food diets, and their brains are being affected. Now, the part of the brain that's affected first and foremost is the part of the brain that has to do with learning, with good social skills, civilized behavior, if you will. And what happens is that when people are under stress, young people, old people, it doesn't matter, but when people are under stress, there's two ways to react. One is a civilized way and one is not. And I think we can all agree that we're seeing more uncivilized behavior under duress these days. So sugar is a big problem for starters. Today the average consumption is over 150 pounds of refined sugar per year. 100 years ago it was less than 4 pounds, and it's going up all the time. So refined sugar has no nutrition in it, and it's a major shock to the system. So sugar is a problem, but so are processed foods. Processed foods are devoid of nutrition. They have the nutrition stripped out of them. They also have a major impact on brain biochemistry. Processed foods actually leach nutrients from the body, so they're also a negative food like sugar. Corn today has 80% less than vitamin C than it did 20 years ago, and that's a government statistic. So I tend to think that it's probably even worse than that. And now we're in the era of GMOs, and that's a whole nother story. But getting good quality food is something, if you're not aware and you're not making a conscious effort to do it, you're probably not getting it. Back to the corn, the high fructose corn syrup is in just about everything. It's a cheap form of sweetener, and sad to say, it's the #1 source of calories amongst young people today. Not a good indictment of the diets of our young people. So we have another problem as the people are taking in high sugar, high carbohydrate, high processed diets. This has a spiking effect of the insulin from the pancreas. It'll spike in response to the intake of these foods. It also affects the amino acids in the body, which the body uses to make neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters, I like to refer to them as gasoline for the nervous system. And when we run short of neurotransmitters, we run into problems. We run into problems with behavior. We run into problems also with neurological functioning. An example again, years ago, corn used to be very high in tryptophan. Tryptophan deficiencies are related to depression. They're related to increased aggression. They're related to moods that are all over the place. So the point is, there is a link between diet and behavior. This has been proven. Years ago, there actually was studies done. Most probationers wind up getting right back into the system, over 70%. But when they put them on a good, healthy, whole food diet as a condition of their probation, hardly any of them wound up back into the judicial system. So it was a great study. Unfortunately, it kind of got swept under the rug. Not much has been done with it, especially in this era of pushing the psychotropic drugs, etc. So anyway, I hope you found this very valuable. And like us on Facebook. Check out my website, crawfordnaturalhealthcenter.com. See you next time.